So this is something which we'll probably never see again from the Thomas family. This laughter, the fun, and jokes, how close they all were, and it's thanks to the cracks and the broken relationships which were beginning to form in season 1. And by the end of the first season, even Kanan's narration told us, even he knew he couldn't trust his own mom, which stems from the secrets and lies she'd been keeping from him, most notably about Detective Howard being his father. Lulu also wanted out of the game. Marvin and Jukebox's relationship was never going to be the same after they clashed, and with Marvin's own story, he had to fight to prove his worth to Raquel and her organization. But as we enter season 2, Raquel is going to be the same old devil in a red dress. Raquel Rack Thomas has gained control over the city's drug trade, but her son is slipping away. Kanan Stark returns to Queens, uncertain of his future with the family organization, and because of Detective Howard's lingering secret, even he's more uncertain of his past. Kanan searches for the truth, while Rack boldly expands the business into hostile mafia territory. Lulu has other plans that revolve around his emerging record label, but Rack isn't about to let his side hustle get in the way of her expansion. Although Marvin remains Rack's loyal soldier, he struggles to earn Jukebox's forgiveness and become the father she deserves. The ties that also bind the family together are becoming undone, but Rack will stop at nothing to hold them together. And this is the official synopsis for season 2, so let's break this down. Now, towards the end of season 1, Raquel was losing a few battles to Unique, and one of them was with their connect Dean, with Unique making a very few clever moves when it came to hitting her stash house, making the move with Lulu, and making noise with law enforcement, because this is the one thing Dean despises, because it brings unwanted attention on their business, and his aim is always to be low-key. So, being dropped by Dean forced Raquel to source a new connect, which is where Juliana's cousin, Joaquin, came in.
Well, what is it that you do exactly?
I'm changing the fucking game.
So Raquel promised him she was changing the game, and it started with getting rid of Unique and making sure Detective Howard wasn't a problem. So going into season 2, it seems like she's delivering on part of her promise of changing the game, because she's got full control over the city's drug trade, and we even saw her, Lulu, and Marvin in Unique's place of business, with guns pointed in the direction of Worrell and probably Unique, although interestingly they never showed him in the recent teaser. But Raquel is now moving into hostile territory, and she's someone who's definitely going to create a lot more enemies, and this could possibly be one of them, Sal Borselli, who's a powerful, charismatic Italian mob boss of New York, New Jersey. But Raquel will have control over the drug game, but at what cost? Because her true colors were beginning to show towards the end of the season, but they were always there for us all to see, especially when she had D-Wiz killed and then comforting her mom. She showed us who she was. She was cold, savage, ruthless, and she did what needed to be done by getting rid of anyone or using anyone who stood in her way, whether it be someone like D-Wiz, Marvin, Lou, Unique, or even her own son, Kanan. So from the synopsis, Kanan is going to be slipping away, and are we really surprised after what she had him do at the end of season 1? I don't think so, and it also makes sense he started to slip away from under her control, because in Power it was made clear he learned the game under Breeze. So I fully expect at some point Kanan to possibly turn on Raquel, which may not happen in the upcoming season, but definitely as Breeze is introduced, whenever that may be. Now Kanan's also going to be searching for the truth, because he's now realized his mom's a liar when she told him she had D-Wiz killed and had to clean up his mess time and time again. Jukebox is also another person who told Kanan this.
She just has you hit a cop.
So it seems like Kanan is going to be searching for these answers in season 2. Whether he finds them is yet to be seen, but Detective Howard is awake, and we all know what he wants. He wants to tell Kanan the truth about who he is, and he also wants his bone marrow transplant. So let's see what Raquel's next move is, because we know she's gonna stop at nothing to hide this from Kanan. Now, just before we move on to the next part of the synopsis, something we can't overlook is the fact Kanan barely had any interaction with Lulu in the first season, and I don't think this was done by accident. I fully expect them to have more conversations, especially on the topic of Raquel, because both of them will have something in common, and that's the feeling of being trapped by Rack. But this leads us on nicely to how Lulu still wants out of the game. So in season 1, it was clear that Lulu was never the same after he was tasked with killing D-Wiz, and this look said it all. He didn't want to kill him, but he had no choice because he's Raquel's go-to guy to get shit done. but he was clearly fazed by D-Wiz's death, and you could tell with the way he missed Warrell and the way he was chasing his dream with music. And season 2 is going to be no different for Lulu. He still wants out of the game with his plans revolving around his record label, but Rack won't let this distraction get in the way of her expanding and taking over. And as she said, his shit is her shit. So I really wouldn't be surprised to see her using his record label as a way to clean money, because she's going to be making a hell of a lot more of it if she's in control of the entire city. And I also wouldn't be surprised to see Rack killing Jessica as a way of keeping Lulu in check and under her control, because Jessica is someone who's been trying to convince Lou to do his own thing. But if this was taken away from him, it only leaves one path, because he's also made it clear he'll fly the same flag he's always done until he's dead. But with Lou, Rack is only one of his problems, Crown is another, which is what the teaser showed us. So he's gonna have a few battles in this upcoming season, one with Rack and one with Crown, and who knows what else. Now, when it comes to Marvin, he was someone who was always trying to prove himself to Rack, and it's not easy for Marvin because he was the original leader of the Thomas organization before Raquel took control, and now he's taking orders from his younger sister. But as they went through their differences in season 1, Rack realized she needed Marvin, and he's someone who'll always be there for his family, and he'll always be loyal, which is going to continue into season 2. Although we can never say never, because one of the cornerstones to power can be betrayal, and with the way Rack is going, would we really be surprised if her family did turn? But as with Rack and Lulu, Marvin's got his own battles and demons to face, and one of them will be Jukebox, because we all know what happened towards the end of season 1 with Nicole's death and the intense scene between him and Juke, and he knows damn right he did wrong, because he instantly felt remorse and regret. So he's gonna try and mend this relationship with his daughter, but he's gonna struggle, because Jukebox has shown she's becoming her own woman. She can stand on her own 2 feet, make her own way in this world, and she understands the world they live in. But Marvin is gonna try, and one way he's gonna do this is by going to see an anger management therapist, Renee. But I don't think this is gonna be enough. This relationship is definitely broken beyond repair, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see Juke eventually killing Marvin herself. Not in season 2, but maybe in seasons to come. And this could also give Jukebox's character in power a lot more depth, and give us more of an insight into why Kanan was so afraid of her, because he would know at first hand what she's capable of and what she's done in the past. So I really do expect some cold and savage moments from Jukebox. Now, the ties that bind this family together are becoming undone, but Rack will stop at nothing to hold them together, and she's proved to us in season 1 she nears to no man, and she really is willing to do anything. But Raquel's quest for power and control is going to be her own downfall, because she really is forcing her family in all sorts of ways, which will only make them resent and eventually resist, with possibly all of them turning on her. Where does she go and who does she turn to? Because she'll have nobody left. But for now she has all the power and control, so we're gonna have to see whether she can maintain this in season 2, or whether her empire starts to crumble, because she's building a long list of enemies from Unique to Detective Howard, and eventually even from within our own family. So drop all your thoughts down below on the synopsis for season 2, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.